Hey everyone, welcome to episode 4 of Missing Mondays here at Your Milk and Cereal, where we highlight missing person cases to help bring awareness. I'm your host, Ramira Arlilia, and this week we'll focus on several cold cases that I believe could have benefited from the Ashanti Alert had it been established before 2018. Let's dive right in and see if you agree. The Ashanti Alert is named in honor of Ashanti Billy, a 19-year-old college student who was tragically abducted and murdered in 2017. Her story led to the creation of this alert system, designed for adults between 18 and 64 years old who go missing under dangerous or suspicious circumstances. When activated, the Ashanti Alert functions like other emergency alert systems, broadcasting information about the missing person through media channels, electronic billboards, and more to mobilize the public in search efforts. The Ashanti Alert Act was signed into law in December 2018, and since then it has been a vital resource in helping to locate missing adults and bring them home safely. However, it wasn't until just about a week ago in 2024 that the FCC approved national broadcasting of these alerts. Despite this recent approval, there are many missing adults who could have benefited from this system long before now. The case of Felicia Cochran is a stark example of why such an alert system is crucial. As we saw with Carly Russell's disappearance, her story received immediate national attention, highlighting the disparity in media coverage. Felicia's case, among others, did not receive the same level of awareness. Felicia Cochran is a beautiful, sweet, caring, and loving mother of 3. Her daughter, Brandy Martin, was just 10 years old when Felicia disappeared from Pell City, Alabama in 1992. Brandy recalls her mother with deep affection, describing her as a great mother who did everything she could to provide for her children. On the evening of June 11, 1992, Felicia made plans with her mother. She mentions heading to Birmingham to meet a man she had recently started seeing. With a potential thunderstorm looming, Felicia and her mother discussed the possibility of her staying overnight in Birmingham to avoid driving back in bad weather. Another reason for caution was Felicia's estranged husband, who had a history of stalking her and increasingly violent behavior. To protect herself, Felicia arranged for her cousin to accompany her on the trip. The plan was for Felicia to pick up her cousin along the way in her gray Nissan Sentra. She left her mother's home around 6 p.m., heading toward Birmingham. The following morning, Felicia's mother wasn't overly concerned when Felicia didn't return home. She assumed that her daughter stayed in Birmingham as discussed and went about her day. Alarm bells began to ring when Felicia fails to show up for her shift at Hardee's, where she worked as a manager. Known for her dedication to her job, it was entirely out of character for her to miss work without notice. Worried, her mother called Felicia's cousin only to learn that Felicia never arrived to pick her up the previous evening. The unease deepened when Felicia's mother contacted the parents of her estranged husband, where Felicia's 3 children had stayed the night before. They too had not seen or heard from her. Growing increasingly anxious, Felicia's mother reached out to the Pell City Police Department to file a missing person report. However, she is told to wait 12 hours before doing so. It isn't until 7 p.m. on June 12th that Felicia is officially reported missing. As hours pass, a troubling picture emerges. Witnesses report seeing Felicia's estranged husband waiting outside her mother's home on the evening of June 11th. Shortly afterward, the couple is seen arguing outside of a nearby hair salon. An employee recognized Felicia and immediately asked the salon owner to call 911. But by the time authorities arrived, Felicia, her husband, and her car are gone. Determined to find her daughter, Felicia's mother began calling neighboring police departments. She discovered a chilling piece of information. In the early hours of June 12th, around 4 a.m., someone reported a car on fire on Turnell Mill Road, a rural area in Talladega County. The Talladega County Sheriff's Office responded, and the vehicle was towed to a local impound yard. The car had not been linked to Felicia's disappearance earlier because no missing person report had been filed at that time. A search of the area around where the car was found yielded no further clues. Felicia's family has long believed her estranged husband is responsible for her disappearance. Despite their suspicions, no arrests or charges have ever been made in connection with the case, and no person of interest has ever been publicly named. More than 30 years later, Felicia Cochran remains listed in the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency's database as an endangered missing person. Her case remains unsolved, a haunting mystery that continues to weigh heavily on her loved ones. Felicia Cochran was born on August 10, 1965. She was 26 years old when she disappeared, standing 5'3" and weighing 135 pounds. She had black hair and was an African-American woman. She is 59 years old as of today. Felicia's daughter Brandy, now an adult living in Washington, D.C., still feels the pain of her mother's disappearance. She wonders if her mother's case would have received more attention if it had occurred today, in an era of instant communication and widespread media coverage. This is where I believe that Felicia Cochran's case could have benefited from the Ashanti Act had it been established before 2018. Even at 59 years old, she fits the criteria, being between the ages of 18 and 64. She's currently listed as endangered, which is also another requirement for the Ashanti Alert. Reflecting on the more recent Carly Russell case, Brandy expresses a mix of emotions: anger at the hoax, but also a deep desire for her mother's case and those like it to receive the attention that they deserve. Cleashindra Hall is a bright young woman who has been missing since May 9, 1994. Born on March 30th, 1976, Cleashindra was just 2 weeks away from graduating high school when she disappeared. At the time, she was an honors student with a promising plan for the future, having secured a summer internship at a pediatrician's office in Boston and being accepted into the pre-med program at Tennessee State University. On the evening of May 9, 1994, Cleashindra was last seen walking into her after-school job at the home office of Dr. Larry Amos in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. She called her mother just after 8 p.m. to say she's not ready to leave yet, but promises to call again when she's ready for her ride home. That second call never came. Cleashindra was wearing a white shirt with blue stripes and navy blue polka dot shorts, along with white socks and white athletic shoes. Dr. Amos reported to the police that Cleashindra got into a car with an unknown individual after finishing work. The last known sighting is at the office where Cleashindra is seen leaving with someone she knows. Her mother, Laurel Hall, fell asleep while waiting for her daughter's call. She woke up around 1 a.m. on May 10, 1994, to discover that Cleashindra never called and had not returned home. Her parents report her missing but are informed that since she is legally an adult, they must wait 24 hours to file a report. Cleashindra's mother's initial attempt to report her missing was rebuffed by police, who claimed the 24-hour wait is required. Theories around Cleashindra's fate range from her being abducted while attempting to walk home to leaving voluntarily. If the Ashanti Alert had been in place in 1994, Cleashindra's case might have received immediate attention and a rapid response, as it is designed specifically for adults between the ages of 18 and 64 who go missing under circumstances that suggest danger or abduction. Exactly the situation her family faces. 2 weeks after her disappearance, police searched Dr. Amos's home and office, the last known location where Cleashindra was seen. Despite the search, no evidence of a struggle or any other clues were found. Delay in searching the property caused concern for Cleashindra's mother, who believed Dr. Amos had ample time to remove any evidence. Dr. Larry Amos, a person of interest, reported seeing Cleashindra enter a car but could not identify the driver or provide a description of the vehicle. The local police considered the case a likely kidnapping but had no leads or clues about the perpetrators. Cleashindra is described as a black female, standing 5'8" and weighing 120 pounds. She has dark hair and eyes, and her hair was styled in a ponytail at the time of her disappearance. A distinctive feature is a surgical scar on her left knee. The investigation into Cleashindra Hall's disappearance remains ongoing, and her case was featured on the show Find Our Missing. Despite significant efforts by local authorities, the case remains unsolved, leaving her family and loved ones in search of answers. In early December 2000, the peaceful atmosphere at Liberty Temple Church in New Jersey was shattered by a loud, urgent banging on the doors. When church members answered, they were met with an unexpected and concerning sight: a little boy, just 2 years old, standing alone. Though he appeared healthy, his pants were wet. The person who knocked had already vanished into the night, leaving the congregation with more questions than answers. The reverend of the church remembered that day well. He says, "I'll never forget that day because it was so unusual. When they brought the boy to me, I thought he was a member of the congregation. I held him up near the end of service and said, 'Whose child is this?' The boy was frightened and crying. The church staff did their best to comfort him, but the young child could only tell them his first name. Congregation, moved by his distress, quickly provided diapers and other necessities as the search for his parents began. It took days to identify this child and reunite him with his family. When he is finally able to speak to the police, the story he shared is nothing short of terrifying. In the innocence of his voice, he recounts, "Mommy is dead because they were fighting. Mommy was bleeding. Mommy got hit with a rock, and a man punched my mommy in the face, and he was bleeding. I was fighting him, and Mommy was fighting him." His mother, 23-year-old Aesha Muhammad, is a young woman with aspirations. To be closer to the Venus Beauty Academy, where she was taking classes, Aesha moved out of her home she shared with her sister, Rashida Doss, and rented a room from 57-year-old Charles Dawkins, her father's half-brother. Dawkins ran a boarding house, but the living situation quickly turned sour as arguments between Aesha and Dawkins became frequent and heated. On November 30th, 2000, Aesha decided she could no longer stay in the tense environment. Her brother Solomon recalled that she had packed her belongings and was ready to leave the residence. He says that she told him she wanted Wakita to come get her because she and Dawkins had been arguing. Without a vehicle, Solomon calls their other sister Wakita to assist. She tried repeatedly to reach Aesha, but her calls went unanswered, including those made to Dawkins' home. Distressed by the news of his daughter's disappearance, Aisha's father, David Muhammad, immediately traveled from Atlanta to Philadelphia to search for her. The family gathered at Dawkins' home, where they find a disturbing and perplexing scene. Aisha's room is nearly empty, with only a dresser, a bed, and a single sheet on the mattress remaining. There was no trace of Aesha or her belongings. While her son is safe and reunited with his family, Aisha's whereabouts remain unknown. Nearly 25 years have passed since her disappearance, and despite numerous efforts, she has not been found. No arrests have been made, and the case grows colder as time goes on. According to reports, her son did name the person he believed killed his mother, but the identity of this individual has never been publicly revealed. Aisha's case is now treated as a homicide, but the delay in issuing an alert and the challenges in gathering timely information have left her family in anguish for over 20 years. The Ashanti Alert could have provided a critical lifeline, ensuring that Aisha's disappearance received the urgent attention it deserved. Lieutenant Mark Deegan says, "She's been missing a long time. She was a competent and caring mother, and after putting our heads together, we've taken over this case because it appears foul play might be involved." Despite these developments, Aisha's case remains open and unsolved, a haunting reminder of a young mother's mysterious disappearance and the unanswered questions that continue to torment her family. At the time of her disappearance, Aesha Muhammad was approximately 5'8" and weighed 135 pounds. Aesha has a gap between her 2 front teeth and a small scar on her abdomen. She was 23 years old when she went missing and would be 47 years old today. It breaks my heart that Ashanti had to endure what she did in order to pave the way for others. Because let's be honest, there was no special alert for her either. How many times did the police have to tell a family that they needed to wait 24 hours, or tell them that maybe their loved one just needed space, before the importance of alerts like this came to light? Your support in sharing and spreading the word of the Ashanti Alert can make a huge difference not only on society, but in the Black community. Unfortunately, it wasn't until 2018 that the Ashanti Alert Act was signed into law, far too late to help these missing individuals, and ironically, far too late to help Ashanti. Yet their cases serve as a sobering reminder of the importance of this system. The Ashanti Alert is a vital tool to ensure that no missing person is overlooked due to their age, and it underscores the need for swift action and public awareness in situations like theirs. Even now, more than 30 years later, their families continue to search for answers, and the Ashanti Alert stands as a beacon of hope that future cases might not end in the same unresolved heartbreak. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Missing Mondays. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future episodes and to catch part 2. Together, we can help bring awareness and hope for a safe return. Until next time, self-care and stay safe.